Well, hey, welcome back to the channel. I thought I would kick off the Homemaking 101 series with a voiceover video. So hopefully my microphone is working pretty well. I am trying a new setup. We'll see how this goes. What I've got for you today to kick off the Homemaking 101 series is my eventual home office. This is pretty much the last room in our build that we are tackling. So someday this will be a library / home office, but for right now it's basically a dumping ground for everything that we haven't found a home for yet. And this just becomes a continuous pile of things that I need to deal with, and I just keep the door closed, if I'm being honest. This is just a sore spot in my house that I have a hard time keeping on top of, mostly because it's stuff that I don't want to get rid of yet because it still has use, or it's stuff that I'm selling, or it's homeschool stuff, or it is clutter for the most part. I just need to deal with it. And so I thought I would be really real with y'all and show you one of the areas of my house that just doesn't get dealt with as much as it needs to. So also I thought along the way that I would share a bunch of tips and tricks for how to keep a tidy home. So here we're going to do 3, if you're looking to do a decluttering or to learn how to tidy your house, there's 3 sort of areas that you need to look at. There's a 4th one, but I'll cover that later. So the first area that you need to look at is donating. The second is selling, and the third is recycling. So I've got this giant pile of Little League gear, and my son hasn't played Little League baseball in like 3 years. This just got moved with us, and I haven't dealt with it. So I had it all laid out there on the floor so I could look up the value of everything and take pictures of it. I took pictures of it, and then I left it there on the floor and just closed the door. So I found a box for it, and I listed that on Marketplace a couple days ago, and hopefully it sells soon. Couple $100 there in Little League gear, so that would be a nice addition to the piggy bank. When you're going through an area and you're trying to decide how you want to declutter it, just make quick decisions. If you're going to be donating, so that I have a cardboard box that I carry with me, it's my donation box. I have a small waste basket there. That's trash, obviously. And then I have a space which you can't see in this shot, but to the left of this shot, there's a closet area where I have the clothes that I'm selling on Poshmark, or the all the things that I'm selling on Facebook Marketplace. I store it in that closet. So then that way it doesn't get lost or dirty or anything while I'm waiting for it to sell. And if it doesn't sell in a reasonable amount of time, and you need to decide for you what a reasonable amount of time is, but if it doesn't sell within a couple of weeks or months, depending on what it is, it gets moved into the donate box, and then that box goes in the back of the car, and then I schedule a time to drop that off at Goodwill. So I try to only do this for about 10 to 15 minutes at max. Otherwise, it just gets too overwhelming, especially in a space like this where I don't really have any organization going on. It just becomes a dumping ground. It's easier to organize a space that's kind of already organized, and this space just isn't. So that desk there in the photo, in the video, just becomes like a dumping ground of everything that I need to deal with later. I move it out of the rooms that it doesn't need to be in, and I move it into this room, which is kind of not a great system, but it works for right now. All right, so donate. Try to support a local charity if possible. I know a lot of people will take their stuff to Goodwill or Salvation Army or whatever, but just do a little internet search real quick and see if you have maybe a women's shelter or a local Christian charity or a pregnancy center that takes donations, and then schedule drop-offs. If you're going to be donating things, get them in a box immediately, and then as soon as you're done with your decluttering, schedule a pickup or a drop-off. If you have a Habitat for Humanity nearby, a restore, they will pick up large areas or large things that you're looking to donate. They're kind of picky on what they'll accept, so you might have to find a different charity. If you're going to sell something, get a box or set aside an area where it's clean and you can take pictures, clear pictures, and measurements and things and get those listed immediately. Get those things out of your house. So just list it immediately and get it moving. And if it doesn't move in a reasonable amount of time and you have to decide what reasonable is, then you need to donate it, get rid of it. If you're going to recycle something, you need to ask yourself these questions. Can I use this somewhere else in my home, or can I turn this into something else? And I need you to be brutally honest with yourself. A lot of times I'll pick up a project or something and I'll think, oh yeah, I can use this as art somewhere else in my house, and then the project just sits there and rots because I'm not actually going to do the thing. So if you're not actually going to use the thing and turn it into something else or put it somewhere else, or it really doesn't serve any purpose, just get rid of it immediately. Put it in the donate box or the sell space and just move the item immediately. Now, I know a lot of like decluttering gurus will tell you not to interrupt your declutter time to go do something else, but I think that's bad advice. First of all, if I find something in my pile that needs to go somewhere else, I move it immediately. I go put it away and then I come right back to the task. So you have to decide, is that how you function? Can you function by stopping your task? Can you function but if you can't, then keep at your task for just 10 to 15 minutes. You don't have to make this an all-day sort of thing. This doesn't need to be overwhelming. Just pick a spot and start working on it. So this office is not going to be done probably for another year or so. It's just at the bottom of the list of things that we need to take care of. So I'm not in a real big hurry to get this area completely cleared out. I can take my time here. However, if this were my entry or my living room where I was spending all of my time and looking at it, this would be priority number 1, to get clean and tidy. If the item is broken or dirty or unusable, trash it immediately. If it's not worth donating, don't donate it. Poor people don't want your trash. I say this as a person who shopped majority of my life at thrift stores, secondhand stores, consignment stores. I'm not going to get your trash at the thrift shop, and neither is anybody else, no matter how desperate they are. They don't want your clothes that are holy. They don't want your stained clothes. They don't want your smelly clothes. They don't want your furniture that smells like a pet peed on it. So, like, if it's something that's dirty and you don't want it because it's not actually usable anymore, just get rid of it. Trash it. Don't donate it. I can't tell you how many times I was helping at Salvation Army or with the Red Cross, the different disaster relief centers, and we would get boxes and boxes of clothing, and they stank like pets, or they had body odor. And even after a wash, the smell wouldn't come out. And then it just ends up in a landfill anyway. So save everyone the trouble. If you have something that's really not worth donating, just get rid of it. If the item belongs somewhere else in the house, just put it away immediately. You'll probably see a couple times during this video where I actually do end up leaving the room. I just find something that needs a new home and I know where it goes, and so I just go put it away. Sometimes that's not real feasible, like if I'm in the corner or something, and I'll start a little pile of, hey, this stuff needs to go to the garage or whatever. But then make it a point that as soon as you're done with whatever that is, whatever that space is, you move. You go put it away. Don't move piles from pile to pile, because piles aren't going to handle themselves. So here I've got a trash can. I've got these encyclopedias. They're a collector's item. They're out of date. They're not any good. So I'm trying to decide what to do with them here. And I'm just sort of thinking about it as I go through another box of books. I have boxes and boxes and boxes of books. And I've donated a lot. Some of them are going to end up on the shelves when this room turns into a library, but not yet. So I'm probably going to I'm going to try to donate these encyclopedias to the library, and if they don't want them, which check with the library first, I'll probably just put them up on the Buy Nothing page or something. They're a really expensive collector's item, but they're not doing me any good. So I put them on the marketplace and I'm trying to sell them, and it's just not working. So anyways, I keep on that wall there, most of that stuff is stuff that I'm putting on Poshmark to sell. Some of it's like users manuals, some of like there's some shipping supplies in there and whatnot, and that's all kind of a mess. And I will deal with all of that later. So here you see me grabbing some items that I put up on the marketplace. So I'm just going to stick these in the corner for now, and if/when they sell, great. I know I'll know right where they're at to go grab them and toss them out the door. And if they don't sell within a couple of weeks, they're going to the charity. I don't know what charity would want them yet. And that's another thing too. Like, you have to know your local charities to know who would actually want to take your things. Keep a trash can handy. If it's trash, throw it away right away. Don't let it linger. Just keep a small trash can right near you so you can throw away old receipts. You can throw away, I don't know, there's probably like, I find bits of tape and stuff in the office all the time, so I get those tossed out. And then I don't try to like spend a whole lot of time making choices here. I just move things to where it makes sense to move them. I get them sorted and organized to where it makes sense to sort and organize them at. And then I'm done. It just doesn't have to be this whole huge ordeal. It actually just works better if you can just quickly make snap decisions and get stuff situated. So I've got a whole stack of books there that's going in that corner box. That's going to get donated to the library, but our library only takes donations a couple times a year in order to cut down on the amount of their clutter coming in. So that box is just going to sit there until our library is open for donations. Try not to take too long making choices on whether something should be donated or sold or recycled or thrown away. If in doubt, throw it away, right? Like if you're wondering, should I donate this? Will anybody actually use it? Like if you're wondering, just get rid of it. You don't have to donate to charities either. A lot of times if I have something that I'm not willing to take the time to try to sell on Facebook, I'll just ask in a group text that I have with a group of my girlfriends, hey, does anybody need this thing? So I had an air fryer that I didn't use. It was just taking up space in my pantry. I didn't feel like listing it, so I just quickly posted in our group chat with a bunch of my girlfriends, hey, does anybody want an air fryer? And somebody responded and came and picked it up. I didn't have to mess with listing it on Facebook, and it found a new home where it was actually going to get used. So being a homeschool mom, I have a lot of these like art project kits and things, and we get sent these little like science kits, and they just never get used. So not for lack of wanting to, it's just we're busy. I would love if my kid would actually use them, but he doesn't really care that much. So they just end up taking up space. So they usually end up getting given away to homeschool friends with younger kids. So one of the other things that I have to do before the middle of August when our homeschool year starts and our co-op goes back is I have to sort through all the school supplies. I have to make sure that we have everything that we need for the school year. That was last year's planner. I don't need it anymore, so it's going to go in the recycling bin. In the trash bin to go to recycling at the curb. I just don't need to keep the paper clutter. I keep a portfolio, so it would be redundant for me to keep the paper clutter too. So I wish that I could have like put this camera up higher so that you could see the true mess that the whole desk and everything is too. But that's not really the point of the video. The point was donate if you can, sell it if you can, recycling it if you can, but if you can't, get it out of your space. So it's been about 15 minutes. I'm just checking the time here, and I'm going to be done. That's all the time I have for decluttering today. I've got to get other things done. So I hope this video and these tips were helpful. If you have any questions or if you have any declutter tips, leave them in the comments below. Give this video a like and a subscribe if it helped you. That helps me know what kind of content you guys want to see. So I'm just going to be ducking out in this video real quick. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support. And, you know, it's hard to launch a brand new YouTube channel, but I'm enjoying it. So enjoy my messy office space, and I hope to see you guys back for the next video. Bye.